I greet you, my people. We are going to talk about the most selfless leader Eastern region or Nigeria at large have ever seen. This man have held so many posts to the extent that he was once a premier of old Eastern region. This Eastern region comprises of present Southeast and South-South. This man was a very selfless person of which that you can't compare him with any other person in Nigeria. This man is no other person but Dr. Michael Ihe Onukara OKPARA. Dr. Michael OKPARA was born on 25th December 1920. He hailed from Umu Egwu, Okpuala Ohuhu, in the area of Umuahia, present Abia State. Truly, I did not really know much about his parents, but it was recorded that his father was a laborer. In his early days, he went to mission school. Later, went to Ozo Akole Methodist College. In that Ozo Akole Methodist College, he won a scholarship to study medicine at Yaba High School, Lagos. He finally completed his studies at Medical Studies at Nigeria School of Medicine. This man, no Nwedigo, very intelligent. He has so many things upstairs. This one is not about politics or whatever. That he came from a very poor background, but have achieved this much in a very short while shows that he himself knows what he really wants as a man. Immediately he finished his studies, he worked briefly as government medical officer, and not quite too long, he returned back to Umuahia, his hometown, and set up a private practice. OKPARA was so selfless to the extent that if you keep glued into this video and watch it till the end, you will understand. Presently and past, we have not seen anybody who was or who is so selfless like him. He has so many reasons. Just glued up in this video. As time goes on, you will believe and understand exactly what we are talking here. Please, you should equally subscribe to this channel because we will be bringing to you the things you don't know or the things you have less knowledge of. As Dr. Michael OKPARA is practicing his medical activities, he was also looking onto politics, eyeing the things they are doing there, to the extent that he joined Zikist movement. And this Zikist movement is militant group of National Council of Nigeria and Cameroon, NCNC. OKPARA joined this movement and he was very active because he knows the things very well. He is so eloquent that when he speaks, people learn from him. People keep quiet and listen to him because he always hit the points the way it's supposed to be. In 1952, OKPARA was elected into the Eastern Nigeria House of Assembly under the platform of his party, NCNC. Between 1952 to 1959, OKPARA held so many cabinet positions in Eastern Nigeria. Such positions are Minister of Health, Minister of Agriculture and Production. That reminds me, in 1953, the NCNC legislators revolts against their leadership, which was Nnamdi Azikiwe himself. But OKPARA was so loyal, glued and joined forces with Zik. In November 1960, Zik left his post and became the first African governor general. Through election, OKPARA took over Zik's position as the leader of NCNC, which was a national party. This is where the story of OKPARA now begins. He is now the premier of Old Eastern Region. He did so many things, so many things, of which that all the governors we have now cannot even come close in any way. He did so many things, just glued and keep on following. OKPARA became the premier of Eastern Nigeria from 1959 to 1966, during the First Republic started. Bear it in mind that during that period, Nigeria started not being stable due to politics and the military activities. The military started suspecting the politicians that they are corrupt, that they are embezzling the money. And within that period, Nigeria wasn't stable for no reason. And immediately after, there was a coup that caused the whole problem, that incited the civil war. The military held the coup and they targeted some political chiefs in the regions as at that time. Fortunately enough for Dr. Michael OKPARA, he survived the coup while the two other premiers was killed. The premier of northern Nigeria and the premier of western Nigeria. And this instigated hatred and anger within Nigeria at large, especially the northern Nigeria. Finally, the outcome of the coup led Nigeria to a civil war. These are some of the OKPARA's achievements as a premier. The man OKPARA did so many things. Just keep on gluing on it. Read his activities, the way he did it, from number 1 to the 6 or 7 points here. These are the things I can just be able to give you. But believe me, it is more than this. He was a great man. He did so much. Just glued, you will understand at the end of this video why he remained the most selfless leader Nigeria have ever had. I wish our governors, present governors, will just do 20% of what he did. I believe that everybody will be a little bit okay. He equally built so many things that some of them are still given money to some states now that was under Old Eastern Region. Michael OKPARA built the Trans-Amadi Industrial Area that is still giving huge money to Rivers State government. He built it during that time when he was premier of Old Eastern Region. He built Hotel Presidential Port Harcourt, and this Hotel Presidential Port Harcourt is still booming. Arguably, he is one of the 5 best hotels in Rivers State as we are still talking. That was his hard work. He initiated it and completed it, although that the previous government after state creation have been doing wonders on it, but he was the initiator. He built also Presidential Hotel Enugu, although that one I don't know exactly what is happening there now, because it's like the government of Enugu State is not doing really well with the hotel. It's a very mighty area and was built solidly. He built Michelin Tire Factory in Port Harcourt. He built the popular Obudu Cattle Ranch of Calabar. The Obudu Cattle Ranch that is still yielding serious money for. You know, during that time, he spreads his works. This is not about being an Igbo, but being selfless, extending your good works everywhere you are in charge. All the south and southeast was in that old eastern region. And this Dr. Michael OKPARA extended all the infrastructures, all agriculture projects, all the things that will be yielding money to all the nook and crannies of that old eastern region. He built Owerri shoe industry. He built Aba text mile. He equally extended Port Harcourt seaports, among others. You can just listen to his own song, talking little bits of what his father did. This news came from Arise TV. The name of this his son is Uzodimma. Listen and hear what Uzodimma say. Hear it from the horse's mouth.
Your father was minister for 8 years, premier for 6 years, and we're living in a 2-bedroom apartment in Dublin, in Ireland. And then he said to me, listen, my ambition was not to be a rich man. If my ambition was to be a rich man, I would have been one of the richest people in Africa. But my ambition was to put food on the table for the people of Eastern Nigeria and create wealth and employment. And I tell you, Uzo, to that extent, I was successful. And I'm happy. I'm a free man. I'm very happy. And if you also read the book by Pius Okibo, Oparanomics, because Pius and Dr. OKPARA were very, very close friends. They went to Yaba Higher College together. Dr. Pius Okibo was in the sciences, was in the arts. Dr. OKPARA was in the sciences where he studied medicine, but they were very close. And he wrote this book because, again, he was the economic advisor in former Eastern Nigeria. So he was part of it. And Pius would say, one of the things I admired about my friend, Mike, was that he was not intimidated by Samuelson economics or the economic indices. All he just wanted to do, you could talk to him about economic policies and points, and he'll end up and saying, Pius, I want to put food on the table for the people of Eastern Nigeria. I want to create wealth. I want to create employment. I believe that that is the main reason why there is a clamor. OKPARA built roads, yes, but people don't remember Dr. OKPARA because he built roads. They remember him because he created 24 cups of garri, 1 shilling. 24 eggs, 1 shilling. There was food everywhere. Listen, you remember, Charles, that Dr. Michael OKPARA built so many farm settlements. So many. Ozowani, Ibariam, Ohaji Egbema, Umuahia North, Umuahia, and a very large one in Ogoja at Boki. Then they had rubber estates. It was endless. It's countless. What about the industries? Michelin tires in Port Harcourt, glass factory in Trans-Amadi, Gorugidi Breeze, modern ceramics, Nigesem, and one of the best cement plants ever built in this country, Calcemco, Calabar Cement Plant. The rubber plants which were built, Turner's Asbestos, the first Niger Steel Plant, Pepsi Cola Port Harcourt. It's an endless list. The Owerri Shoe Factory. People, you know the relevance. People want Dr. OKPARA. They're not going to have Dr. OKPARA back anyway. He's no longer there. But they remember him because he created jobs.
Absolutely.
You know, every human being have hobby. Some like playing music. My likes like watching football. Others like doing every other thing, one or the other. But his own hobby was building agricultural projects and building infrastructural development. Once he is doing that, he is very okay. Once he's making sure that food is on the table for every human being. My dear, could we imagine this kind of man? I wish that we have it in all our different states. I believe that Nigeria will be okay. Or imagine this kind of person become the president of Nigeria. Believe me, Nigeria will turn automatically to be the giants in the world, not only in Africa, because he will put everything in place. He will work everything possible to make sure that money is coming. People are not lacking anything. Dr. Michael OKPARA was a great man. You know, Dr. Michael OKPARA was a pure civilian. He did not have any military experience. So during the war, He ran just like every other civilian and saved his head. Fortunately enough, he survived, although he was still a target for Nigerians to get him killed because other premiers was killed, but he survived. They were still hunting, trying to get him killed, but fortunately enough for him, he survived the civil war. And immediately the war ended, he went to exile in Ireland. Mind you, while he was still working with government, even the time he was premier of Eastern region, OKPARA did not have any single house or any single land of his own. He puts everything he has to make sure that government is working smoothly. Could you imagine that? Check the governors we have now. How many of them can do that? Be in governor's lodge and did not have a single house and doing all these works. It is not possible now. I wish this person can reincarnate and become the president of Nigeria so that people will smile. But before he came back from exile to Nigeria, the good people, his friends, good friends he has, they just came together, donated money on their own, and built a house for him. And that was the only house OKPARA could boast of during his entire lifetime. Some people will say that he was a coward, but no, that was his hobby. Listen again. If you doubt it, you can equally listen again to what his son Uzodimma said about him. His problem is not about being rich, but about making people happy, providing food, providing work, providing hospitals for people so that everything will be going well. That was his own ambition in life. And as he wished it, he finally achieved it. That house was built in his own hometown, Umuegwu, in Umuahia, present Abia State. Dr. Michael OKPARA bagged so many honors, and after he died, there are so many things that was named after him. So many of them. A road was named after him in Abuja, Michael OKPARA Way. A university was named on his name too, Michael OKPARA University of Agriculture, Umudike. Michael OKPARA Square, Enugu. Michael OKPARA Square, Enugu bụ ebe ihe niile na-eme. If you are not fit in Enugu and did not go to Michael OKPARA Square, you know that you are missing a lot. If you come there on Saturdays, you will take your eyes and see. You will see so many group of ogene, so many group of dance, so many people putting themselves in order. Once you go there, you will enjoy yourself. I'm just telling you for a fact. And that Michael OKPARA Square is where Enugu governments are doing at least 80 to 90% of their program, because it is so wide, so big, that it can contain, let me not just exaggerate, it can contain more than 20,000 people. The square is a very big square situated in the heart of Enugu. Michael OKPARA Square Aba was also named after his name, although this one is somehow smaller to compare that of the Enugu. Michael OKPARA College of Agriculture, although it's now renamed to Imo State Polytechnic, and other places also were named after him, but these are the little ones I can give you for now. Michael OKPARA have a family. He married and have 6 children. The wife is Adamma Enyidia OKPARA. His children are Nnawu Ihe OKPARA, Uzodimma OKPARA, the one you heard speak on this video, Chinyere OKPARA, Enyinnaya OKPARA, Ugonwa OKPARA, and Ijeoma OKPARA. Dr. Michael Ihonukara OKPARA died on 17th December 1984. He was 63 years. I wish that he can reincarnate and come back to this world and take the leadership of this nation. I believe that if he came, or somebody like him, Nigeria will be a very great nation, of which that so many people would like, so many countries would like to emulate from Nigeria, and Nigeria can feed itself and feed all Africa if the likes of Michael OKPARA is given a chance. We will end this video here now. See you on the next one. Please do well and subscribe. Put your comments on the comment section if you know him, and give us thumbs up. See you in the next video.